Now, for those of you who may not know, Anna Ogden Hall is an outreach of Spokane's Union Gospel Ministries, Mission Ministries. And to get things started off today, I want you to welcome the Executive Director of Union Gospel Mission Ministries, Phil Altmeyer.
Well, what a beautiful day that we have today, huh? Not only outside, but inside. And you know what's exciting to me about this event? It's symbolic of our entire ministry, because today is, some of you like me just sit down and enjoy a nice lunch. You have to stop and realize there have literally been hundreds of people that have been working behind the scenes to make this a successful event. And I was so encouraged when I walked in the foyer today to see the number of businesses in our community that believe in what we're doing. And so today, as we celebrate, I just want to start out by saying thank you, ladies. Many of you who have spent countless hours gathering the goods, and all of you who helped organize today to make this event possible. I just want to say thanks. And we will be reminded of today of why we invest those hours and that time. It's about people, and it's symbolic of our ministry, literally hundreds and thousands of people who support it so that others' lives might be changed. Will you join me in a moment of prayer as we commit our time today to the Lord? Father, thank you for your presence with us. Thank you that you are the God of transformation, that you're the God that comes and visits each one of us and wants to have a relationship with us so that we might live out the potential that you created within each one of us. Today, as we celebrate your power to transform lives, we give you the glory. Thank you for the fellowship, the fun, the way in which we can all participate to make this possible. To you be the glory. Amen.
Now please enjoy lunch, and I want to let you know that the green tables will be closing in 3 minutes, so the silent auction green tables close in 3 minutes. But right now, enjoy lunch and get those last bids in on those tables. Our program this afternoon. Some of you may know this event as our annual garden party, and that's what we've called it over the years. And we started out having this event under a tent. Thank you. Who am I supposed to kiss? I don't think my husband would like that, but we started this event as a garden party on the grounds of Anna Ogden Hall, and the Lord has just blessed it, and it has grown and blossomed. And at first it was almost like a tea for ladies, and now we're excited to have so many of you men join us this afternoon. Yes. Thank you for coming and taking your time to come. We have grown so much that I want you all to be aware that next year, when you're looking for this event, it will no longer be the garden party, but it will be an afternoon of hope, which really is appropriate because Anna Ogden Hall offers so much hope for women and children in our community. So just look for the Afternoon of Hope around this time next year and know that it's the same event that we used to call the Garden Party. As you know, Anna Ogden Hall is a very vital part of our community. And the women and children in need of Anna Ogden Hall someday could be your neighbor or even your coworker today. Sometimes you just never know. And we are privileged today to have 3 women who are leaders in our community share why the work of Anna Ogden Hall matters and why we should all care about taking part in the work that Anna Ogden Hall does. To the right of me, at the far end of the table, is Councilwoman Nancy McLaughlin, who's joining us today, and we'll be hearing from her in just a little bit, as well as Judge Patty Walker. And our Spokane Police Chief, Ann Kirkpatrick, wanted to be here today, but she's doing work somewhere else. She's the keynote speaker at a Young Life gathering that's taking place. So she couldn't make it, but we will be joining her through a video as she shares a little from her heart today. But first, I want to introduce you to Judge Patty Walker. Not only is she a leader in the Spokane County District and Municipal Courts, but she's also a leader in our community. And she knows firsthand from the work that she does what happens when you don't lend women and children in our community a helping hand, when you don't invest in lives that need investing into. And she knows the value of service that Anna Ogden Hall offers. She's also, I thought a fun fact, a hockey player and a hockey coach. So please welcome now Judge Patty Walker.
Move this down as I always have to. Well, I wanted to first thank all of you for being here today and for your involvement in this wonderful place. I'm going to speak to you today on a couple of different things, and I'm going to be very concise, and I have notes because I need to stick within my timelines, and I'm terrible about doing that, which some of the people in here who know me will attest to. I want to start by telling you a little bit about myself so you understand why I'm here today to support this great facility and all of the work that they do. As Joanna indicated, I am a hockey coach and a hockey mom and a hockey player because I have 3 children, 2 of whom play hockey, and that has been a passion of mine since I was a child. It might become clear in a minute why that is, how I ended up doing that. And as Joanna was talking, one thing came to mind, and that is that as a hockey player, you learn something very early. You learn that you're going to get knocked down, and you learn that you better get right back up. And that's what we're here to talk about today, about getting knocked down and getting right back up again with the support of a community like Ogden Hall. When I came to Spokane 23 years ago, it was to go to law school at Gonzaga. And I was here 4 days, and I called my mom and I said, I'm not coming home. I love it here. And I meant it. So they have to come visit us a lot. But Spokane was like coming home for me. And I'm not sure I really even realized why 23 years ago, why that was. I know now why that is. I was born in Moses Lake, had never lived in the United States. We were here 3 weeks, so my parents were off, great adventurers. My mom's Canadian, my dad's Irish, and they loved to travel, and so that's what we did. I grew up living abroad in places like Beirut, Lebanon, New Delhi, India, a lot of time in Canada. And so when I came here, I felt like I was home, and I made this my home, and I'm raising my family, my children here. As a child, because of this travel, I was exposed to diversity, different ways of doing things, different ways of being. In our family, those different ways weren't right or wrong, just different. And I learned a lot from that experience. As a woman, I've learned that I must have people and support in my life. It's crucial. I must also have fuel to do work, to be a mom, to be a coach, to be a player, and support to help me through the rough spots in my life. I also have to have passion for what I do and encourage myself and others to pick professions, pick activities that they have passion for. I also have realized that I must have balance. A couple of years ago, was asked to be on the Judicial College faculty. When we are assigned topics, one of the topics that I teach on at the Judicial faculty to teach new judges is about balance in your life. Not sure why they pick me some days, but I think it's important for everyone, and it's particularly crucial for people like you in this room who are leaders in our community to maintain that balance. One of the analogies I use when I'm talking to new judges is the airplane analogy. In the event of a water landing, a mask will come down from the ceiling, and what do they tell you to do? They tell you to put that mask on so that you will have oxygen to help those beside you, to help those children, to help those others who can't help themselves. And that's what I try and do in my life. That's what I've learned as a woman. In terms of where my heart came for this kind of work, when I was a young lawyer, we were required to do, we still are as lawyers, pro bono work for free, help those who can't afford to pay for legal services. Because of my job working for the city at that time, it restricted what I could do, so I did volunteer work. I was on the Juvenile Diversion Board, helping teens in trouble with the law, and then I fell into becoming a guardian ad litem, where you're appointed to represent children It's a volunteer position to help them and their families through the court system. It was a position that I loved. I stayed for 9 years, and the only reason I stopped doing it was because I couldn't do it as a judge. So I basically got booted off. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that experience and why that was so important to me. As a guardian ad litem, one of the first cases I got had to do with a child who's, I think I'm running out of time, is that the no? Which I do. A child who grabbed my heart. This little girl had a real hard time saying guardian ad litem, so she called me her guardian angel. Her experience was, and that was a big role to live up to, important, I could see that. Her experience was that her biological family loved her, but they could not help her and support her. Our community provided that family with resources and that little girl a door to step into where she could find support. Her adoptive family provided her with that support and opened their door to her. That little community, that family, our system provided that support for that little girl. And that's what touches my heart. That's why I do the work that I do. And that gave me hope for that little girl. I'm still in contact with her and her family. She's doing wonderful. I still see her biological family, and they still have their struggles. But this little community of Ogden Hall is one of those systems that provides support. It's a little community with a big heart, and it's fueled by hope. The things that I've learned about myself as I grew older was that I wanted to have that passion in my work, and so in my work as a lawyer, I opted to do adult entertainment, litigation, and criminal work, because that industry is largely built on the backs of women at their most pivotal times in their lives, the weakest times in their lives, and internet cases involving children where horrible, despicable things occur to them, because those are and were gruesome, painful cases that, to be honest, a lot of people didn't want to do for understandable reasons. But I realized at that time, just like raising my own children and giving them these options, that was very important work, probably the most important work of my life. Holding a child, guiding them through the court process and their family, and praying that justice would be done for them. I saw that then. As a judge, I realized I had to make sure that occurred in my own courtroom. One of the things that heartened me and gave me hope was when I would have a woman in my court, either as a defendant or a victim, who would tell me that she had found Ogden Hall. I knew then that she would get the heart and the hope and the support that she needed, and that she would have a soft place to land. I knew that she would be strengthened by all of the people at Ogden Hall, the tireless workers, and the important work that they do, and that maybe that would give her, that woman, and her family, and her children, the strength to close the door and shut out some of those demons and leave them behind. Ogden Hall is a community within a larger community that cares. So today it's my hope for you that you will hear my message. I'm humbled to be a part of the celebration here today to honor and support this place and these tireless workers and these courageous women and their wonderful children. And I wish for you that you will keep your heart and that you will help keep the heart of Ogden Hall alive, and that you will remember to put on your oxygen mask so that you can be fueled to be a guardian angel for all those little angels at Ogden Hall that have found a soft place to land. So thank you all for the work that you're doing, and please continue to support this wonderful facility and these wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Walker. Now we're going to hear from City Council member Nancy McLaughlin. She's currently finishing up her first term on the City Council, but she is definitely no stranger to public service. In addition to serving on various boards as well as commissions, she's also been involved in a lot of volunteer organizations as well in our community. She's even received the Spokane Outstanding Citizen Award. And something I found out about her, she does have an adventuresome spirit. When she was 18, she did some skydiving. So please welcome Council Member Nancy McLaughlin. This reminds me when I had my tonsils out with two of my brothers and I had to go last into surgery. Like my hands are sweaty. I want to open this morning with a verse out of the Bible in two different versions, actually. First in the King James, and it's very familiar, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then in my version that I use on a daily basis, the New American Standard, it says, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope. And I'm so delighted to be here today, and I want to thank Debbie and everybody involved with Anna Ogden Hall that I can share a word about the hope that God uses through this ministry to propel women and children into their destinies and future plans that God would have. I've been married 30 years to the same man with the help of some counseling. I turned the big 50 this year, both in the same month. I have 3 children, 2 sons, 28, 26, and our daughter Trinity is 22. Have 3 gorgeous little granddaughters. I now carry pictures, and I think they're delightful, as I'm sure those of you who are grandparents know. It's worth, you reap the rewards of raising children. They're called grandchildren. And when my kids were growing up, I was very active in, and most of the time my kids were in the public school system, so I got very involved in public school issues, and the Lord just raised me up, because when there were complaints of parents, we had to, I just hate complaints. I just want to fix things. So we just needed to get together and do some fixing. And then I had some neighborhood issues, and they needed some fixing. So we joined some forces and fixed some things in our neighborhoods so that our kids would be safe. So it was very important to me. After that, God pulled one over on me, and I found my way on my way to City Hall. And I'm still quaking in my boots some days. Oh, God, help me today. If you don't hold my hands, I'm quitting. And I can't believe I'm in my 3rd year. So much to learn. And I have to look forward to a campaign next year, which I'm really not looking forward to. But anyways, you know, I'm more fearful of God than I am of man. And so when he tells you to do something, you obey. And you just trust him for the outcome. One of my duties that I found myself in City Hall was I was appointed onto a Department of Corrections committee that's looking over the work release programs within the state. And I mention that today because with that I've been able to visit a number of work release sites and see some of the programming that's going on. And here in Spokane, we have the Brownstone, we have the Eleanor Chase House both, and they're doing some marvelous work. And I'm not in any way, what I say is not discouraging what they're doing. I think they're doing a wonderful work. But you know, God has created us 3 parts, body, soul, and spirit. And the spiritual side is a little bit touchy with the state to deal with. And so I am extremely pleased that ministries like Anna Ogden Hall and our Union Gospel Mission understands the importance of the spiritual aspects, and God wants to heal us holistically, and that includes our spiritual healing. And with that, I wanted to go. So what I was finding is I was looking through some of these other programs that they did a lot of what I saw as behavior modification, you know, conforming issues, and not so much really transformation issues, even though some of these programs, you know, really, you know, suggest that you push into your spiritual side. That led me to another scripture I wanted to read. Romans 12:1-2 says, therefore, I urge you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice,
acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. And what I see at Anna Ogden Hall is that their mission is not just to do conformity, but to transform the lives of the women and children that come through their doors. And I want to quickly share a story about a young woman who was one of 5 children. She was the second oldest with all brothers in her household. And on the outside, things looked pretty good. Parents, outstanding citizens in their town, and things looked fine. But deep within the home, that young woman was being subjected to sexual abuse for many years, 7-8 years of her life. When light was brought to the darkness of her particular situation, there were people there who were able to get her out and put her in what I would call, now would be kind of, back then they would call it ministry homes. This was back in 1976, 77. And a ministry home that had Christian house parents in this home, and it provided a warm, welcoming, home-like shelter for this young woman. And I just want to share that young woman was myself, and I understand completely the need for homes like Anna Ogden Hall, that out of their little booklet tells us that they provide a warm, welcoming, home-like shelter. And I cannot tell you how important the next 6 months of my life was, living in a home where I was loved and nourished and cared for as I was preparing for the next walk in my life. And with that, I haven't even been told. I've gone through this quicker than I thought for my time, but another scripture that I want to leave you all with is one of my most favorites, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. That says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path." And with that, I just really thank you for listening to me today, and thank you for being here in support of such a fabulous ministry in Ogden Hall. Thank you very much.
Spokane offers a tremendous amount of social services for people who are needy in our community, particularly. We do have services just for women. Anna Ogden Hall changes the lives of women. It gives them options. It's not just a removal from their circumstance. That's temporary. That's transient. We can do that as police officers, but we can't change your life. We can get you into shelters, but those are just for a week or two. They won't change your life. They give you a safe place. I will tell you that what I see associated with Anna Ogden Hall, I see life. I see hope. I see orderliness. I see transformation and regeneration. And I speak from a woman who herself is a born-again follower of Jesus Christ. I am regenerated. I know regeneration when I see it. And that's what I saw here. Anna Ogden Hall is a choice to change life. As far as the physical plant, the physical environment of Anna Ogden Hall, I am surprised. I love this place. This is very, very nice.
This is called the Cozy Room.
I love this. The furnishings, the paintings, everything about it is so attractive. It is so welcoming. You literally feel like you're in someone's personal home. Obviously, I am government, And I am proud to be a government servant, a public servant. But government and faith-based programs government can only offer so much. I, in the government role, can help you get into shelters, but it's transient. And it's a purposeful thing. But faith-based, such as Anna Ogden Hall, it's about making a woman whole and complete. So this is a heart transformation here. This is a life-changing transformation here. They are complementary of one another, and yet government cannot save your soul. And Anna Ogden Hall and Union Gospel Mission and our Lord Jesus Christ can save our souls. In my mission that God has given me to be a public servant and to care for the public safety of the community, and I serve all people. It doesn't matter if you don't share my faith. I serve all people. And my mission is the wholeness, the wellness, the safety of the community. Anna Ogden Hall, because a life is transformed, again, is the one seed with 100-fold return. A life regenerated here is going to be replanted into the community, and that will have a crop of safeness, wholeness for our community. And I'm not trite in saying that. These are principles of truth, and you can see it. Any seed that is sown in this particular ministry, the Anna Ogden ministry, I can tell you right now, it will be 100-fold return. I can see that. This is a welcoming, comforting home that just reflects wholeness, life, and hope. This is a cool place.
It is a cool place. I hope you were encouraged by hearing from 3 of our city leaders. And when you think of them, maybe say a little prayer for them. God has blessed us, putting them in the positions they have, and they are wonderful ladies. So I just ask that you remember them in your prayers. All right, who's ready for a little exercise? Why don't you grab those paddles? Let's see who can hold theirs the highest right now. Don't worry, I'm not the auctioneer, so it won't cost you to lift your paddle right now. There you go. Okay, so you all know how live auctions work. And I would like to introduce you now to Bob McConkey, who's with Dealers Auto Auction. And he has a lovely assistant with him today. And we're very excited to have Bob here helping us out. He is a pro. And he's so professional that if you go like this and scratch your nose, be prepared. So let's have a little fun with our live auction today. Please welcome Bob.
So if you have somebody that you need to wave at, get it out of the way right now. Anybody who wants to wave at somebody, wave at them, then we're all done. We're gonna kick off the auction here. I wanted to just briefly state that in kind of the spirit of the event, that we at DAA Northwest employ somewhere between 200 and 250 people seasonally, and we have people from all walks of life and all different kind of, as we say in the car business, makes and models of people. And we have people that fall on hard times at DAA, like every business does. And I can tell you that my personal experience with the mission and with Anna Ogden Hall is that for the business community, if you use it, it is a resource. We have had people that, homeless people aren't always unemployed. Believe it or not, you can find homeless people out there that actually are trying to carry a job. Might be a part-time job. There might be addiction, alcohol and drug addiction that forces them to go broke while they're still working. And we deal with those types of problems in the workplace. And I have been personally involved with Anna Ogden Hall and with the Union Gospel Mission with employees as a resource. And if I didn't have that resource, I frankly wouldn't know what else to do, because the heart and soul of DA Northwest is not the kind of business that just cuts them loose and says, you know what, you're not good enough to work here, you're on your own. And with the resource and the partnership I formed with Phil Altemeyer, we have an option now for people that are in trouble. And we've used it, and we've seen results. We have a young lady who went to Ann Ogden Hall, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, received the Lord, and came back, had the condition we found her in, she had cut herself severely, and it was a depression, alcohol deal, and it was basically a hopeless situation in her mind, and we had no place to turn with her, and except for Ann Ogden Hall, and she is now a successful employee, mentally and physically healed as a result of her experience down there. So don't think that this stuff just is for somebody else. It could be very personal. So I did the auction last year, and I thought, well, I either have to come up with a different program or I got to wear a skirt next year. And I don't wear skirts, so I came up with a different program. This is we talk about overcoming adversity, and we're specifically dealing with women that are overcoming adversity as we look at Ann Ogden Hall. And I'm going to introduce Rose Bax, who is a good friend of mine. She's an employee of mine. She is one of the very only, speaking of a young woman making it in a man's world, she is the only female auto auctioneer in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. And you're going to hear her today. And so here's Rose Bax to do the auction for her.
Thank you, Bob. It's a pleasure to work for people that really have a heart for their community and for their employees and just for the world that we live in. And I can tell you of all of and I work for other auction companies as well, but this man and his company, Dealers Auto Auction Northwest, has the biggest heart of any large corporation I've ever known. And I just thank you, Bob, for allowing me to be here and allowing me to be part of what you do. And I think that there are companies in this room and people in this room that share his passion for our community as well as everyone here. So thank you for having me join you today. You bet. All right.
You got to impress them, Rose.
After that intro, I'm not sure I can hold up. The first thing I want to say before I get started is, I know that we kind of did a little practice auction, but that's how I like to get things started. I want to make sure everybody knows how to use those bid cards. So what I want you to do is I want you to pull them out of your seat, out from underneath your chair, wherever they're hiding right now. And this is going to be your only opportunity to put those bid cards in the air today and not have it cost you any money. We're going to have a little practice auction. So here's how it works. All right, then, put those cards up. We'll bid $100 bidder now, 2, $200 now, 3, $300 now, 4, $400 now, 500 now, 600, 700, 800,000, 900,000, $1 million. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a bunch of fun. Thank you very much. Bob McConkey is going to spot bids for me today, as well as Bruce Wonker, which is a huge change of pace because that's what I do for them every Thursday, so it's going to be a ton of fun. You guys have no idea what you're in for. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with item number 1. This is golf with Mark and Tim Rippon. This is an absolutely great opportunity. You get 2 rounds of golf at the Spokane Country Club with former NFL great Super Bowl MVP Mark Rippon and the #1 amateur golfer in the Spokane region, Tim Rippon. So you get 2 rounds of golf at the Spokane Country Club, plus this isn't in your catalog, but Mark says that he will sign a football for you as well. So you get a football to take home with you. And what do you want to bid for it? Absolutely priceless. Who'll start the bidding? Every hand up. How about 300? How about $300? How about 300? How about $300? How about $300? Everybody bid. How about $100? Let's go there. 100. Now 2. $200 now 2. Thank you. Now 3. $300 now 300. I have 2 bid. I need 300. How about 250? 3. Thank you. 250 now 300. $300 now 300. 250 now. It's priceless. Free, thank you. Now 350. $300 now. Hold it, 350. 300 is bid. 350, thank you. Now 4. $400 now. $400. Go one more time. I need 400. Did I mention the football? I did. I can tell. 400. We need 400. I have 350 bid here. Go one more time. How about $400 now? $400. $400 now. $400. Any advance? 350 now. 400. Sold it to you, sir. Congratulations. $350. And can I see that bid card? 316. Thank you, Bob. All right. Next auction item is the Outback Experience. Themed dinner for 10 at the Outback Restaurant. Experience includes appetizers, entrees, side dishes, desserts, and soft drinks. So imagine 10 friends gathered together enjoying the most magnificent dinner you've ever had. Tons of fun, and the wait staff at the Outback Steakhouse is ready to serve you up the dining experience of your life. It's a pretty big promise. Let's see what we can do. Who'll start the bidding? 10 people? Outback Steakhouse. What do you want to do for it? You tell me. How about $300 on this one? Who'll go $300? $300. Who'll go $300? Thank you. Now $400. Who'll go $400? 10 people. 4. Thank you. Now 5. 4 is bidding. Now $500. Now $500. $500. Now $500. $500. This is not the regular menu. 5 right up front. They gotta go. I got 5 right here. Now 6. Now 7. $700. Now 700. 6 is bidding. Now go $700. One more time. I need 700. 7. Thank you. Now 8. $800. Bruce, your guys out. I need $800. 800. 8. Bruce, get some more money. 800. Now $800. 8. How about 750? I'll keep working if you will. I have 700 bid. Would you be 750? 700 is bid. Now $750. Now who goes 750? 7 is bid. Now $750. $700. Now who goes 750? $700. Now anyone else? Last call. $750. Sold. $700 prize. Congratulations, number 255. 255 is your buyer. The third auction item is a night to remember. Original jewelry designed by Tiffany and handcrafted by local design company Cornerstone Sterling. Includes black onyx beads, Swarovski's crystals, Bali sterling beads, and sterling silver in the necklace, bracelet, earrings, and pendant. So you get them all. Oh, but that's not all. You also get accommodations at the DoubleTree, Spokane City Center, and a $100 gift certificate to Spencer's for steaks and chops. And if you've been to Spencer's, you'll love it. And along with that, you get West Coast Entertainment, and they're giving you 2 orchestra-level tickets to the Tony Award-winning comedy, the 25th annual, Putnam County Spelling Bee, and 2 tickets to the Phantom of the Opera. And you all know the Phantom of the Opera is the longest-running show on Broadway. So here we go. Great opportunity, wonderful night to remember, and right here in Spokane, Washington. And what do you want to bid for it? How about $300 to go on this one? Only $300, now 4, $400, now 5, $500, now 500, $500, thank you, now 600, 5 is bid, now $600, now $600. You know, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with sitting in the front row. And I need $600, 5 is bid, now $600, how about $550? $550 is bid, now $600, 6 is bid, now $650, $650, now 7, your turn again, she's in, now 7, thank you, now $750, $750, now $750, 7 is bid, $750, now $800, $800, now $850, now go one more time. I need $850. He thinks a little faster than you. $850, thank you, now 9, $950, now 1,000, now 11, now 12, $1,200, now $1,200, $1,200, go one more time. I need $1,200, 11 is bid, now $1,200, I have 11, 12, thank you, now $1,300, now $1,400, $1,400, now $1,400, $1,400, now 14, go one more time. I need $1,400, I have 13 here. 14, thank you, now $1,500, thank you, now $1,600, $1,600, now go one more time, go $1,600, $1,600, now $1,600. Hey Bruce, Bob's man's in. $1,600, 15, now $1,600, $1,600, now $1,600. I have 15 bid, I need $1,600, now $1,600.
Do we have a vote to see who thinks he should pay $1,600?
Yeah, who thinks we should get $1,600 from the back of the room? No pressure back there. $1,600.
You'll do that, and then he's going to pay $17. It won't cost you nothing.
Absolutely. If you bid 16, he'll bid 17. He just needs some help. 16. Now 1,700. 17. Yes, he did. Now 1,800. 17 is in. Now 18. I think we might get 19 out of him. If you give 1,800, 17 is bid. Now 1,800, now 1,800, 1,800, he's in. I think you will. Go 1,800.